That music creeps me the fuck out, I tell you. Every time I hear it, it's like, woo! Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Twilight Zone show. I think Dylan's out getting sushi again. I don't know. You know, the thing is, we started at what? 7:30, and we went into a vortex.
She was like,
my Wi-Fi's messing up. Give me 1 second.
I was like, you'll have to.
Bro, start it up for us while I get this. Let me just reset it. I'll be right back. I gotta reset my internet. Yeah, we're live. I hit the live button. I'll be right back. I have to refresh it.
All right, Dylan's having a problem. See, the thing is, at 7:30 tonight, we started the show, and we went into the Twilight Zone vortex, right? And I've been sucked in trying to get the hell out of it for 2.5 hours, and I haven't been able to do it. So Dylan's, who I thought was out getting sushi, apparently is having problems with his Wi-Fi, so he'll be back. So how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Once again, this thing has been Twilight Zone, balls to the wall, but we're having a fun time doing it tonight. We're doing episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, and there's some classic stuff in here, and stuff that we really like. Probably a top. This batch has a top 20, probably a top 5 episode, in my opinion. If I was going to make a list of the top 10 Twilight Zone episodes, one of tonight's episodes would definitely be in the top 5. But just the way I feel about it. So I hope everybody's doing well. Dylan's working his internet stuff out. So let's talk about a little bit. We're doing 4 episodes. The first one is Walking Distance. That's episode 4. Episode 5 is The Escape Clause. Episode 6 is The Lonely, and episode 7 is Time Enough at Last. So one thing about this batch of episodes is that the episode number 6, The Lonely, was actually the very first episode filmed. They filmed it in Death Valley, first on-location episode, and the first one actually filmed, but not the first one aired. Dylan's back. Dylan, you're looking good?
Yeah, sorry, dude. This internet keeps I just keep seeing the bar. I don't know why. I keep losing connection.
We thought maybe you went out for sushi or got sucked into the Twilight Zone vortex, but it didn't happen.
That'd be better. But yeah, we got episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 tonight. As Scarpat was saying, sorry on the messed up intro. But got a couple good ones tonight. I screwed up because I wasn't even able to really take notes, but start us off. So we got episode 5, right, Scarpad?
Yeah, I took some notes. Walking Distance, written, of course, by Rod Serling for this one, directed by Robert Stevens, and stars Gig Young, who was a movie actor, actually, in the 40s and 50s, and I think he did an excellent job. This is, I think, probably one of the first of many kind of quasi-sci-fi time travel episodes with this theme of you can't really go home again, which is basically the
this one was the one that kind of gave me a little confusion a bit, but
it's a little confusing.
I went back and rewatched this one.
Yeah, well, what happens, I missed it myself, is, obviously the guy plays an ad executive who's beleaguered, he's really run down, so he's going home to see his old hometown, and he stops, and something happens to his car. And where it's kind of confusing, I think, is he isn't within walking distance, which is the name of the episode, and he walks down the road, and there's a couple instances where he gets transported to the past and then back to the future. And he's very briefly sees a mirror on that road, and that mirror is his entrance to the past. And then at the end, where he's on the merry-go-round, we flash to he goes to the record store, and it's showing like an album mirror there, and that's his kind of like entry back to the future. So it's a little confusing how he goes back and forth, but you get the idea. So Dylan, go ahead.
So that mirror, that's where that was kind of where, because I at first I was thinking maybe he died, because this was one I kind of couldn't remember for some reason. Like I said, I went back a while ago, probably 5 to 7 years ago. I went through and binged all, what is it, 151 episodes? I think it is 156. Maybe, I don't know if that includes, because isn't there a couple lost episodes in this one, which I totally recommend. Like, they got them on Paramount Plus right now. This is the way, though. If you can find this, me and Scarp had gifted this to me during the Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like $40 though. I mean,
you can get it for between 40 and 50, but man, that's a good deal. That every episode has like multiple narrations, and also has the radio show versions of the thing.
Some of the stuff I was like, what is this restored audio? The original, like, what is there a difference? That's why I was asking.
Yeah, the restored audio is been remastered 5.1, and sometimes they cut things out that were in the original mix. So I like to listen to the original audio.
Yeah,
and it has all the intros. It has commercial. That's a great set. But we see this kind of theme in other Twilight Zone episodes where somebody goes back to relive something. This show gave me major Back to the Future vibes.
Right, like the 10-cent chocolate Cokes or whatever.
Yeah, and he goes back and he talks to his parents. He tries to convince his parents who he is.
Yeah,
and then at the end, his father believes him.
Back to the Future, obviously.
Yeah, so his father believes him, and his mother's like, doesn't think she's a lunatic.
Yeah,
and it's interesting where he goes back and he meets himself, which should cause the universe to explode. Doesn't Star Trek, but here it doesn't.
Yeah,
you can't meet yourself. But then he causes himself to get a broken leg, and he has the limp in the future, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think this episode, I'm closer to death than Dylan. So I think if you're closer to your mortality, you might get this episode
hit a little harder.
It might hit a little harder. For me, it hits. Yeah, you can't go home again. You can't see your old friends again. You can't be 10 again. It does get a little deeper when you're to that age. And
now that you say that, it definitely hits, but I understand how it could hit.
And supposedly Serling and his director went on a trip back to Serling's hometown, and that's where he got the idea to write this episode.
I did, yeah. I remember was reading that, in the book. But yeah, I guess I could see that just because it's like it's an older guy, but going back, but I enjoyed the episode.
The performances are great.
This might have been my weaker one out of the 4, but that's not saying much at all, because honestly, I think I liked all 4. I honestly liked all 4 of these, where I feel like, last week we had like that one little Hollywood stinker where it's not even saying that one was bad. It was just like a lot weaker than any of these 4. Like I would pick all 4 of these over that Hollywood one. Like the Hollywood actress one, you know what I'm talking about.
Another thing that happens in this episode that rarely ever happens in any of the Twilight Zone episodes, although here I think it happens to about 3 of them. In the early episodes, it seems like we get mid-episode narration from Serling. Normally, you don't get episode narration. You get it in the beginning, and you get it at the ending. But you rarely ever get it. But there's multiple episodes, and this was one of them, where we get a third act narration where he comes back and he's explaining things.
Yeah,
they drop that, I think, after a fashion. But and then this is the first episode we see Ron Howard. He does other shows, I believe, in the Twilight Zone. This is Ron Howard's first episode, the little kid.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
I didn't.
Ron Howard from Happy.
He directed this one.
No, he didn't direct it. Ron Howard from Happy Days is the little kid he talks to when he first enters the past. The kid that's sitting on the step that runs to get his mother. That's Ron Howard.
It's not the Ron Howard that like directs.
Yes, the Ron Howard that directs.
Oh, okay.
That was in Happy Days.
So he was. I
Twilight
didn't know he acted. Okay.
He was. Oh my God.
I didn't know.
Well, Ron Howard. You never seen Happy Days?
I don't know. I know of that film. I don't know if I've seen it though.
The Andy Griffith Show.
Dude.
Oh my God.
I'm not that old.
Oh my God!
I think I'm pretty good for my age.
Do you get Me TV at your house?
Man, I don't even got cable. I don't even got cable anymore.
Oh my God! I don't know. Yeah, you need.
You don't got cable either.
Yeah, I know, but I got some apps and stuff. You need to get. Yeah. Well, go on my whatever, and look up Happy Days and Andy Griffith and watch. See,
I've heard of the Andy Griffith.
Ron Howard was a child actor, a big one. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I know he's a legendary director too. But before we get, let's say what's up to the chat. We got Comic Culture up in here. We got Perry. What's up, brother? We got Two Gun as always. We got Road Collecting. And we got Brother Joe up in here. Thanks, Dylan, for going old school. I can get it to this. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. It's a great show, no doubt. We got Bobby D up in here. What's up, my brother? And that looks like what we got right now. Watching Brother Joe watching Twilight Zone as a kid. It's interesting that you look back on them. Oh man, such a good one. But yeah, man, it's definitely a great episode. I enjoyed it a lot. It's funny you said Back to the Future because I definitely got those definite vibes. But at first, I wasn't sure where they were going with it. If he was like, kind of, if he died and this was like his own heaven or something. But I see now what you mean with like the kind of window portal and everything.
Yeah, well, obviously he was in a rundown job. He didn't like his job. He was trying to get away. He was trying to go back to his past. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. On the next episode, Escape Clause, though, starts getting into more of that Twilight Zone, like 50s sci-fi type stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Another one with kind of making a deal with the devil.
It's called Escape Clause, written by Rod Serling, directed by Mitchell Leeson, and stars David Wayne, who was also a TV actor in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. He plays the hypochondriac Walter Boddicker. And you can tell right from the beginning of this episode when the music is very whimsical, like One for the Angels. So it was going to be kind of a comedy, lighter episode than what you normally see in the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone had a lot of these, had a lot of the comedy, whimsical episodes.
Right. A little more lighthearted.
Although some big shit happens. I mean, the guy's wife does take a plunge off the fucking.
I know, and then building. He takes the fall for it, which I thought was just kind of ridiculous.
Right. So, anyways,
in a way, they kind of speed it up in a way where this one I feel like you could go like you could get like a whole hour.
Right. Well, we can discuss this. This one basically. He's a hypochondriac. He always thinks things are wrong with him. So the devil, who comes on into as a character called Cadwallader, comes in and makes him a deal that he'll never die, or at least live for a long time. He'll never be sick. So he makes it, but he's got to give his soul. And it's indicated pretty early on that something's going to happen.
Just a small little fee.
Want to die early. So he ends up, that's the only thing in this episode I think I didn't like, as you just said. It seemed like it could take an hour. Because he went from getting this to tired with it and trying to like kill himself and
literally like within seconds.
That. Yeah, and I think if they had spent a little bit more time building that up,
or like did a jump where it's like he's been gone for 100 years.
Right.
He still has his regular wife and everything while he's trying to kill himself. It just and then it's like you almost could have went into this thing where like he became like a carny or something where he's trying to kill himself and like, you know what I mean? Like, welcome to like the guy who cannot die, and they make him do all that shit.
Other episodes, other things like this. I don't remember the film, the TV, but there was shows where the guy couldn't die and he was bored of living and he was running himself over and stuff. I forget what show that was, but that's what's happening in this one. So basically, he wants, he's bored. His wife just ends up going over the building to a death, which was kind of a violent scene.
Right.
And I love it. I love his reaction. He goes, "I wonder how that feels."
Hello, officer. I killed my wife.
I'll be right here. And he goes, let's try electrocution on for size.
Yeah.
which they didn't do. I would
No, I was waiting for that.
So they didn't do that, and he gets life in prison, which is the point, because that's the only thing that would have made him give up the deal. Is having to be in there for 1,000 years.
Even though he probably would have got out, I feel like, because they said it was like 45 years he was gonna have to do, not like a real life, I think.
Right, but he didn't want to wait. He was bored. He couldn't get on with it.
I know he's just like standing there in front with his head in the bars, like just like.
And then he calls the guy back, and the guy.
This one could have went longer. Definitely. Yeah, I feel like it kind of got really rushed, even though I do like the comedic stuff and everything.
Right. Yeah, especially I think it was probably the first comedy episode they did since the beginning, really. It's all been serious.
Yeah.
They probably wanted to show people they could do something a little bit more lighthearted. It wasn't all down and depressing and stuff like that.
I mean, like we said, this kind of goes through all the genres, and that's one thing I really love about it, is that it kind of hits all the notes, like each episode, it doesn't have to be just like straight horror or straight sci-fi. It kind of hits like all the notes,
and it could be comedy, in an episode where you wouldn't think you'd have comedy. I mean, the last episode we're reviewing tonight is kind of a comedy too, but in a situation that shouldn't be funny, but had a whimsical character. So
I wish though that they left this for the season that kind of had the hour episodes, because I feel like this one was perfect.
This one could have used an hour, whereas the ones they did in the hour ones kind of
even like 45, even like 40 minutes or something. Just the 20, 22 minutes.
I'm interested to see. Like I know the '80s version of the Twilight Zone redid a lot of the episodes.
Yeah,
I wonder if they redid this one. I have to check.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know. So I do really like the episode. I just think it's very rushed, and it just jumps right into the stuff. And I was like, huh? I was like, does he jump? But he has the same wife. She has an age. So it's like, what do we pass 10 minutes and he's already trying to kill himself?
What did you think of the devil in this episode?
I thought the devil was good. I didn't like the devil as much as I liked the Grim Reaper in what is that? One for the Angels. Yeah. I did like him though. He kind of gave me like a little Alfred Hitchcock vibe, but I thought he was good. I enjoyed him. We don't really get much of him nearly as much as we get like the Grim Reaper, but I did like him. I like his pitch and everything to him. And then as soon as he like talks about the claws, he's like, oh, forget it. Nope. I knew I was waiting for it. He's like, you ain't gonna get it. I love though the whole thing with the guy in the beginning, and he's like, I'm the one that's over here dying, and he writes you a prescription for vitamins. You know what I mean? He's like, this doctor is a goddamn quack. He's just like, everything he's saying is just so funny. He's like, she'll be glad when I'm dead. He's like, she's just waiting for me to die. It's just, I thought he was just hilarious. He's just.
Well, I mean, Brother Joe asked a question about what kind of creative team they had back then. Not a lot. They didn't have showrunners. They had a guy like Rod Sterling. It was like
Rod Sterling, man.
And then they had writers.
Knocking them out.
Writers and producers, and they kind of just I'm sure Rod wrote it, and they did it pretty much as he wrote it. That's about it. He didn't write all of them, but he wrote quite a few of them.
I'm feeling you on that, Bobby.
Yeah, I think the devil in this was done pretty well.
Yeah, I think he didn't get a lot of time, so I think for what we get, he did a fantastic job. I really did.
And how about the 50s and those prison guards at the end? I tell you, I think if you were a white guy in prison in the 50s, those guards were like all of them. What can we do for you? Here, have a cigarette.
Yeah,
like, they were real nice guards.
I was like, I think you could have survived the 40 years.
Yeah, the guy who's in there for murder, man, they're awful nice. The guy, even at the end, the guy call the hospital. This guy just dropped dead.
Station Verno, what's up, brother? Man, I'd be interested to know if Vern is watching any of these Twilight Zone episodes. I think my man, since he's really been, I'm super proud of him for how far he's come in the last year with horror and everything. I mean, I just love turning these newbies into like horror fanatics. That's like one thing I am so proud of, is seeing Vern's like his stage from just not knowing, like barely knowing like who Freddy and Jason were, which I'm just joking. I know he knew who they were, but like now this man knows, like Robbie said a couple weeks ago, he's like, man, he's talking Fulci, Argento,
of course he's a
all these
poser.
big names, man. It's very impressive to see how far he's come. I wonder if he's been watching any of these Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah,
I
and
think he would really
without joining us, knowing me, who had never got the greatness that was buried ground. So
yeah, very true.
he's a
Very
lucky
true.
guy, lucky guy.
Which I still got here.
There we go, baby. Watch it. It's a good one. 5
Hells
stars.
yeah.
Fulci's
Nah,
a poser.
dude, man,
Fulci's a poser.
you're like, if you're
Anyways,
not a hardcore, you're in between casual and hardcore. I'd still say you know some shit, man, and you've shown me a lot of good ones.
all right. So the next episode, the lonely, and we start getting into two really good ones.
Yeah.
Lonely is a great episode. Basically, it was
pleasure.
written by Rod Serling, directed by Jack Smite, starred Jack Warden as the main character. John Dana played the captain. Ted Knight, Ted Baxter from Mary Tyler Moore Show, was it? And then Gene Marsh played the android or robot, Alicia. And great cast. Those guys were on TV forever. Ted Knight, he was in Caddyshack. But basically, this is a futuristic tale. Even though the guy has all sorts of stuff in there that makes it look like a 50s tale, it's a futuristic tale where in the future they take prisoners off of Earth. They don't put them in cages, but they strand them by themselves on distant asteroids, which is probably worse than being in a cage on Earth. So basically, we meet this guy. What was his name here? It was Allenby was the captain. Oh, Corey, James A. Corey, who was a murderer. And he's got 50 years to stay on this thing by himself. And the captain, the shuttle captain that comes down and they bring him supplies, felt sorry for him and brought him an an android in the form of a woman. And at first he doesn't like her, but then he kind of gets to fall in love with her. So really good episode, I think. The acting I thought was phenomenal. The characters were great. Obviously it was in the 50s, and some of the stuff they were bringing. I love the helmets. They looked like golf helmets on the captain. But yeah, this was a good episode. It had that twist at the end, starting to get more into the classic twist where something happens, and in this one, of course, the guy gets his pardon after falling in love with her for a year, and now he's got to go, but there's no room on the ship. And really, the scene at the end, it was talked to in the book there that the censors, and they were going to cut the scene where the captain shoots the girl in the face because it's pretty violent for 1950s. People were like, what the hell? And then they showed the android. I keep on saying the android face up close. But I thought this one was really effective. I thought the story was great. This whole thing of playing out about loneliness and the fact that the captain, brings him a woman, and that he didn't want her at first, but then he grew to kind of love and cherish her, but then he has to leave and leave her behind. My only complaint about the episode is I thought I get the point of it, because the android was a stand-in for his loneliness. It was basically him. But I still think he didn't let go of her after being that enamored to her a year. He was kind of quick to leave, I thought. But still, I thought the story and the performances were great. So, Dylan,
What's up?
What did you think?
Oh, my bad. I didn't. You just were like Dylan at the end. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I just got this freaking my freaking window, man. It had no blinds on it, bro, and I could not stand it. So I found this tapestry, man. And it's literally like all the horror icons like sitting in a movie theater. They had one where it's like a collage of them kind of smashed in. And I was like, it's kind of hard to really see what's like going on, and I feel like on film or on the, the screen, it wouldn't look as good. But I feel like on this, like you can obviously see what's in the background. I love it, man. I just love, once I saw them in the movie theater, I was like, that's so perfect. What's up, GT? Testing out a new angle though, Two Gun. Testing out a new angle. The waiting for my new desk to come, man, and then I'll probably have a new setup coming. But this episode, I had a lot of fun with this one, man. This one, I really enjoyed, man. It's kind of like, a murderer's kind of stuck on his own little private planet island, just being, kind of abandoned just to, by himself to go ape shit, man. And then, one time they keep coming to bring him like supplies and stuff, and they leave him this robot, and he has no idea. He thinks it's a woman. He basically says that, he falls in love with her. It's the only thing that saved his life, that he was on the verge of going insane. And he's like, I wouldn't have made it. I think this is a great one, man. I think the actor who plays Corey, I think his name was Corey. I think he was really good. It really sold me. He really reminded me of something. I should have looked. I didn't have enough time, but
Jack Warden, he's been in a ton of
movies. He reminded me of something, man. I don't know what I know him from.
He's been in a lot of genre stuff, dude. John Dana was in a lot of TV too.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was great. I think the girl that plays Alicia, I think her name is
Jean Marsh.
Robot.
Yeah,
Jean Marsh. She was great. Gave off, kind of where you kind of would believe that she might be, a real person. But I also liked, the little the guys with their outfits and everything. They would come and check on them. I thought they looked great. I think the little planet looked good. The set, that's one thing with the Twilight Zone, man. The set designs I'm sure they didn't have barely any money. But
as I said, this was This was their first episode on location. It was all filmed in the
Death
Valley.
Oh, okay. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that it would be. Just because of how big this one felt a lot bigger than like some of the other ones. You can obviously tell they're sets,
right?
Made sets. But this one felt definitely like a big, bigger type landscape. I had a lot of fun with it, man. I think Corey knocked it out of the park. I think everyone did great on this. And then just once the guys come back and tell him that he's pardoned and that the government has kind of ended this, this testing thing that they've done where they're sending murderers and stuff to these random planets to kind of just sit there.
Yeah, asteroids.
What was that?
Yeah, just not even a planet, just an asteroid. It's it's a piece of rock in space.
Yeah, but like Two Gun said, man, isolation for long periods of time will just mess with your mind straight up, man. So I kind of would have liked to see him kind of go through that, like craziness. Obviously, we get Alicia to come before that, but I would have liked to see him going nuts beforehand and then bring the robot and then kind of see him kind of do a full 180. I thought that would have been, because I think the guy who played Corey was a great actor, because you see once they tell him that it's time to go and he can only bring 15 pounds worth of stuff, and he's like, I only got my notebook and this, and then it's coming. You're like, well, what about the girl? You know what I mean? And then they say but it's funny how they say, they keep saying she's a robot or a robo, or how do they say
robot? She was a robot.
They were saying it weird though, like she was a robot. Robot. Yeah. That's how she was saying she's a robot. And I was like, why don't you just say robot? They were saying she's a robot. Which the captain knew that she had been left there,
He brought her,
I think once you see him kind of start going ape shit about having to leave her behind, she's a woman. She's a woman. I kind of would have liked to see him go a little crazy, because I think he had real good acting chops. Yeah, I thought this was a great episode, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked it, and it got closer to science fiction than I think any of the other ones before.
I mean, this one I watched the one before where he where he makes the deal and everything, escape clause. I watched that like twice, and this one I watched like a time and a half, just because I kind of like dozed off between. Well,
there's so many episodes of this show, and I won't lie to you. A lot of times when I turn this on, I'll put it on. It's always an episode I love. It's like there's about 20 really classic episodes.
Right.
It seems like you always rewatch those, and then episodes like this, which are good, don't get, you don't see as much.
Right. There was that's why I was really excited to go back and watch all these, because there's the one that I always go back and watch.
This is very similar to another episode that's going to be coming up, I think later in season 2, where the world's been destroyed through a nuclear war, and they think only one guy left, and the woman comes and joins him, who is an enemy. So this is the beginning of a lot of those similar type of episodes, but still, I really liked it, and it's a good one. But the last episode we're going to talk about is the classic here. This is one of those episodes, like I said, that every time you might put on Twilight Zone, you're going to probably see this episode come up at some point. And that's an episode called Time Enough at Last.
I love this one.
Classic episode. I remember this from when I was a kid. It affects you just so much. Directed by John Brom. Teleplay was Rod Serling. This is based on actually a short story. So he's not the writer of this, but he wrote the teleplay for it. And of course, the stars Burgess Meredith from Batman, Rocky, you name it, as the main character, Henry Bemis, who just loves books, but he doesn't get any time to read them because he can't do it at work, even though he tries. He can't do it at home because his nagging wife pulls the paper out of his hands. So he ends up doing all he can do, which is he's going to lock himself in somewhere to get some solitude and be able to read. And he just happens to lock himself into his job's vault, fortunately, right before a nuclear bomb devastates the entire world.
Yep.
And now,
which you see the H-bomb coming, you're like, oh, right. It's just as soon as he locks
he opens the paper up, let's talk about the H-bomb, and boom, it's going to happen.
Yep. I love his glasses, too. Them big-ass, thick-ass glasses, man. This guy, he is perfect.
And of course, now he's getting to the point where he's all alone. He's going to kill himself like our other character because the solitude was getting to him.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a book, but then he finds books. He finds a public library.
Like, come on, give yourself a little. Like, how long did you give yourself before you're about to kill yourself? It's like, dude, there's got to be some books around. Like all this food, but there's no books. Whole collection of Dickens.
And then he finds his mom. He's at the top of his joy, and of course,
I have so much time now. I have all the time.
Of course, there should be some glasses around somewhere, but this guy is so fucking blind. They show him without his glasses. This dude is so blind, he can't even see 2 inches in front of him. So
those glasses were thick, bro.
Now.
You would think it would have taken a lot for them glasses to crack, though, because of how thick they were.
Right. Of course, it was 50s, Holocaust. You know, he's out there eating contaminated fucking food and water, and he's going to die anyways. Right. But the 50s, we figured out, but we didn't know how it worked back then. But this episode, though, does something very good. I think a lot of TV shows would have started the show with the bomb going off. This show starts very wisely where we get to live with this guy, find out who he is. Right. We have no idea what's going to happen to him. And that's why when it does happen, that's why we feel so much for this character, because we've been with him through his job and his asshole wife and just trying to read a book. And she rips out all the pages and colors all the things in. And it's kind of funny to a point in the episode until it gets after the, but even then it's kind of whimsical. So this episode, man, and it's fantastic. This is the Twilight Zone. When you're talking to me about the Twilight Zone, this is one everybody remembers.
I couldn't agree more. I love the character development you get with this guy. How his wife, how he just kind of gets treated and thrown away because he loves to read. How his wife treats him.
Maybe a little too much.
I thought his boss was about to fire him first off, which he doesn't. But
we can all feel this guy because we probably watch too much TV and movies.
Yeah,
right?
We love reading our comics. We love watching our movies.
But what would happen if the wife came and took the TV away from you?
Oh, bro, it'd be World War III, brother.
What if the wife came and ripped up your copy of freaking I don't know? You just got in the mail of
my copy of Burial Ground.
Oh, my Burial Ground! I'd fucking kill that bitch. No, but so we feel for this dude,
Yeah, definitely. I think the guy who plays him is fantastic. I absolutely love this episode. You just feel for the guy for his glasses, But the guy just wants a little alone time. He's not a big talker, and if he is talking, he kind of wants to, talk about what he loves, like how we are, And you see the woman kind of like how he's like, oh, they kind of like fanboying out about these characters in a book, and the woman's just rolling her eyes at him and being super rude. Which I get that all the time when I'm trying to fanboy out about stuff. And people that have no idea or don't understand, they're just like, oh, like, I don't care.
Bobby had a good comment in the chat. This could be comics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Comics, movies, comics, whatever. Bobby. I thought you said Robbie. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like I've felt what that guy has felt, man, where, you know, I'm trying to fanboy out about something and they're just like, I don't care. Like, are you done talking? So I get that, man. It's, you know, you got a passion for something, you love it. And I think all of us can relate to that in this chat, you know. But yeah, I love the set design once, you know, the H-bomb goes off. I think that looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
you know, I think the guy who plays the main guy is just spectacular, man. He knocks this one out the park.
Yeah, Burgess Meredith, of course, was the Penguin in Batman, and Rocky, the old guy in Rocky's coach. I mean, he's a great actor.
He was the Penguin in the Adam West show?
Yeah, that's Penguin in Adam West, yeah.
Dang, dude, he's fantastic in this, dude. It's so good.
And
Hell yeah,
in Rocky, he's the old guy who's the Mickey.
He's Mickey? Holy shit, dude. That's fucking awesome. Holy shit.
So,
well, without saying, bro, I'm gonna just say it because we're already done all four. Dude, this is my favorite episode.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean,
this is my favorite episode of the week. That we knocked it. This one ended with a banger. Like this.
Yeah, week. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we could have done another one that would have topped this or pushed it out. Probably could have.
I don't know, man. This one just had so much heart, and like the actor was so well done. I love the set designs on this, and in this one, like you said, how the first episode 5 kind of hit really hard to home for you. This one hit really hard to home for me, just being a big fan of, you know, comics, movies, and just fanboying out to people. And sometimes,
and we all love seeing that.
That's why I love you guys so much, because I'm able to fanboy out, and you guys totally understand. You know what I'm saying? You guys would never ignore or roll your eyes about something. You'd be like, "Oh, dude, I totally get it. I know exactly what you're saying." You know, it's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this would be in my top 5, right up there in the top 5
all time
of the series. Yeah,
heck yeah.
Definitely would be in my top 5. Because this one I just remember. I mean, this one left. I probably started watching Twilight Zone when I was like 8 years old, and that's a long time ago. And it's still, this one left an impression when I was a kid. I always loved this episode when it came out.
Yeah, hell yeah. This is a great one.
Oh, come on! Everybody has to have a guilty pleasure, and that's obviously my
exactly. Just wait till we review the Dennis 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen.
I can't wait with that Blu-ray's coming out this week. I can't. I've been waiting to watch that. Watch those.
I tell you, horror movies that could happen, like The Dentist, scare me more than anything in the world. Those
are good ones. And Brian, those aren't as hardcore as you would think, though, man. I don't know if you've ever seen
the guy's fucking around his mouth or anything. I know. It just
it's like take I just remember the Little Shop of Horrors, you know.
Little Shop of Horrors, right.
Come on, drill me up.
Drill me up, baby. We don't care.
But so you want to rate all 4 episodes? What would you give episode 5, 6, 7, and 8? And anyone in the chat, if you want to throw your ratings down below.
Yeah, episode 5, I would give. Well, we're doing this out of 5, then obviously.
Yeah, always out of 5.
I would give episode 5, which is Walking Distance, a 3.75.
3.75
out of 5.
I'd probably give it a 3.5. So. I'll go 3.69 for my bros.
Because obviously I said, obviously I think it hits bigger on you when you're older. So you got to understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
Episode 2, Escape Clause. I'd give that a 3.75 also. I thought it was a good episode, solid. It was whimsical. But we do agree. I think we both agree that.
I think I'd give it a 3.75.
The middle is kind of missing. The guy goes kind of.
Yeah. It'd be a 4 if you kind of don't skip all that, but I like it better than the last one, so I bump it a little bit to 3.75. So 2 guns, 3.5 for episode 5.
Episode 6, The Lonely. I'm gonna give a solid. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's
not one of my favorite absolute sci-fi Twilight Zones, but it's good. It's solid. Yeah. So I definitely give that a 4, and then I have to give a 5. I have to give a 5 to Time Enough at Last, because I mean there's certain episodes, and of course we won't spoil anything by saying something like Nightmare at 50,000 Feet would be up there. That is what Twilight Zone is. Yeah. So it's the 5 club, and Time Enough at Last is a solid 5. Yeah. no chance. But just from the performance, from the sets, from the story, from the twist at the end.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's none better. This is top 5 material, I think, in Twilight Zone.
Easily, man. Easily. I give episode 8 a 5 all day. I loved it so much. It's one that I definitely will.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if there's always like, wouldn't it be great if there's gonna be 4 episodes that we do, there's always one good one like this. It won't be like this all the time, but the one classic. But in this bunch, that was the one classic.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it came early in the series too.
Yeah, I know. We got two classics out of the first 8 episodes. That's I like that. That's good. Like you said, it probably won't always be like that, but there's always going to be our favorite out of the 4.
Well, think about it though. You think about it. Twilight Zone, they did so many episodes, but you think about an episode which is like Nightmare 50,000 feet, right?
Yeah,
well, 30,000 feet, whatever. The episode was in season 5. So they were still banging.
Right. Yeah, I always forget that when I'm looking for it. I'm like,
the last
that's season 5.
It
dude.
seems like something that would be early on, but it was season 5, and there's some great episodes in season 5. So they were still
and that was after they went back to the shorter episodes, because season 4 they went to the hours.
Yeah, and there's very few bangers in season 4. It's gonna be a tough slog to get through.
Which once we get to season 4, we're only doing 2 episodes a week.
We'll see. Maybe we can do more. Who knows? Get through them quicker.
We'll have to see how it plays out. Sometimes, man, it was hard for me to get these 4 out of the way, man. I didn't even work this week, man.
I know we're trying to do so many
played it
movies
too close to the vest on watching them.
Yeah.
But next week we got episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12 coming. And what is that? We got Perchance to Dream for episode 9. Episode 10 is Judgment Night. Episode 11 is And When the Sky Was Opened. And then cap it off with episode 12, What You Need. So that'll be what we're reviewing next week. The only one I recall is Perchance to Dream. I'll have to see. That's the thing. The names of the episodes I always forget. So
yeah, What You Need is another one of these.
Once I get into it, I'll be like, okay, I remember this.
What You Need is another one of these mystical peddler episodes. But it was
What You Need is.
Yeah, but it's a good episode.
Yeah, they have a few of those peddler episodes, but
I we're so lucky to be
a great week with 4 great episodes, no doubt.
I mean, back in the day, if you think about it, I mean, this show came out, they do 39 episodes a year.
Damn.
Think about how many that is even compared to like now. You get like 10, 12 episodes of a show. 39 in 1 year.
24 is usually the most on those like real, like the CW shows get like 24.
No, they don't even get that anymore. They get like 12.
They used to.
They get cut down now. Yeah.
I have to see. I know they used to, because I used to look at them. I'm like, holy shit, bro, this is a lot of fucking episodes to get through a season. Because I'd always kind of tried to get into the CW stuff. Like I watched some of Arrow, The Flash, and it was just kind of hard to binge all those because they get so slow. Like those, I feel like are better week to week instead of binging, because they get so into the drama and stuff in some of the episodes that like, especially because there are 24 episode seasons. I know it, dude, because look, they're on season 9 and they have almost 200 episodes. So let's see, season 1, 23 episodes for, The Flash. What are they at now? Now you're right that season 8 or season 9 that's coming is 12 episodes. But no, dude. So that's going to be the last. Season 9 of The Flash is the last season. But season 8, 24. Season 8 was 20 episodes. So dude.
I fell off.
Some shows still do like 20 to 24 episodes.
I fell off a few years back.
Oh, I know. It's weird though. Like season 7's 18. They're all over the place. So
well, how many episodes do you think a show like? How many episodes do you think 24 did?
24 a season. But like I said, man,
you almost fucked that one up.
There's some shows that do have long, seasons. Like now, the big shows are like, 8 to 12, but there are still some of those CW shows and those drama shows that are like 20 to 24 a season. The
cable shows don't do enough fucking shows like that. I love Tulsa King. It did 9 episodes.
I know, yeah.
And done.
And the last couple were like 36 minutes. The last like 2 episodes.
Don't get me into the I love the show, but man, did it have a
I think
did the last episode blow.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I felt like season 1 was like a build up to where I was like, if this show does good,
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
really
spoil
get
anything.
into some
I'm not
big
gonna
shit
spoil
in
anything,
season 2
but
and 3.
Did you see the last episode? I'm not gonna spoil anything. They build up this big thing. It was so anticlimactic. It wasn't
so
funny.
quick.
Quick. And the way they handled it was stupid.
It was a good first season, which I think they could do big things in the seasons to come.
The episode was 36 minutes long, and it ended with 2 musical numbers by that guy who's his buddy. Like, what the fuck? And then it ends on a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger. No TV show, self-respecting TV show, should only do 9 episodes and end on a fucking.
The whole ending was just the song, man.
It was a song and a song.
Haven't we seen that in another Stallone movie? How many movies have we gotten that song with?
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean that's
overall the show's not bad.
Shit, man, we can't figure out how to end this. Fuck it, just let's fucking let's go all out and just end it with this song, man. You can't fuck up when you got this song playing. But yeah, I think season 2. Plus, I think they could do something big in season 2, but we'll see.
I mean, if your solution to a problem is, all the bad guys walk in the front door and all the good guys are in there and just shoot them. I mean, like what the fuck?
Yeah, within like 30 seconds.
But
me, man, I got you.
Yeah. That's so I can appreciate old episodes, old shows like that. You get 39 episodes. So
heck yeah, brother.
So we got coming up this weekend. We got a bunch of stuff.
We got tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. We got us a good review coming. We got a Stephen King classic, Stephen King's Misery, starring Kathy Bates and the one and only James Caan. R.I.P. brother. One of the greats, man. 2 great actors, man, and a great ass movie. I am super excited. I'm gonna be I'm throwing that on as soon as we hop off here, man.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, so
I've seen it so many times. I don't even need to watch it, but I'm throwing it on, man. Gonna watch it and probably chill with the lady and eat some grub, man. And see if I don't gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm hoping I don't.
And then tomorrow, and then Monday on Sci-Fi Sojourns, we're doing Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah,
that should be a fun one to do. You did it once before in your show.
Oh, I did. I love that movie.
Maybe we'll have a whole different sci-fi angle on the Killer Clowns this week. So that's Monday night at 7:45, and then next Saturday night. Well, we go this Saturday night, so we're kind of caught up. Oh, next Friday night, Twilight Zone, we're back.
Yep, back for episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Got a bunch of stuff coming up.
And we'll let you know. We'll let you know tomorrow night what the last episode of January is for the horror show. Yeah, I think next Saturday will be the last horror show of January, I believe. Yeah,
I scheduled the whole month. I forgot it had an extra week in there, and I had to put something on the last week of my show. I forgot all about it.
So. Oh yeah, that's why I always got to check my dates before I do it. I think we got a real good one to end off January, and then we got an even better one, man. I love the one we're capping off January with, but we got a really good one. My little bro's gonna be super excited to start February off with, man. So I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I got so next week we're doing Killer Clowns, and then next week in the month we're doing the Terminator #1.
Sick.
Cameron, Terminator 1.
Sick.
And then February, man, I got some fucking. It's gonna be a roller coaster month. It's some banging movies. The first 2 I know what they are, and they're gonna be pretty damn good. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, it's gonna be fun, no doubt. What was that? If you're gonna do a poll, what do you mean do a poll? We'll have to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
Scarpad.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a poll for the last one of February to let it be picked by the.
Yes, I don't see that. That's the thing. Robbie will do a poll, but he'll like put like 4 titles, and he'll have you guys pick. I sometimes like you guys just throw it. Like sometimes 2 going to be like, he'll like send me a movie to review or something, Or Zach sent me like the ninth configuration, and I reviewed that. I'll have to figure out how we.
It's pretty
I
good.
kind of like when someone throws me an idea, like so they'll just send me a random ass movie, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't even think to do this one, and then I do it. You know what I mean? But
although I think between you, me, and Robbie, we
like
usually have the movies. So.
3.5. I got the first like 3.5 months already set. We're already down to 1 month, so we got February, March is already set for March Madness, and then I got the first 2 shows of April already set. So I got to figure out the last 3 shows of April. So right now I got a January already set, February and March, and almost half of April. So after that though, but it's going quick, so I'm gonna have to start getting some more shit going. So I'm gonna have to figure out some more shows for upcoming. But yeah, so I'll have to figure out, maybe we'll have to do a poll or something. But like I said, that like I don't be on Facebook or nothing, so I wish I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. We'll have to do some. Like I said, man, you can always message me on IG and throw out some recommendations or something,
Yeah, if I'll watch it. I'll feel, definitely one of us will have the movie. You know that.
Yeah.
Usually is the way it goes.
If not, you can always send it to us,
Preferably in high definition format. 4K is preferable, but
yeah. But man, as always, man, great show. I had a lot of fun. I cannot wait for tomorrow. We got us a banger. You will not want to miss it. 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Hopefully, I won't get harangued like I did the last one.
Hey,
it's a week later.
I doubt
it's a week later, and I'm still taking abuse for that.
They got real sentimental with you calling Fulci out. They didn't like that.
Well, we all know Fulci's a poser. Come on.
Hell yeah, Misery tomorrow. Yeah, Ev, you're gonna be excited for the first show of February, though. I promise.
Rob Reiner. Let me tell you about that Rob Reiner.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But man, I hope you guys have a great rest of Friday night, man. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys go check out Misery, man. You will not want to miss it. You're not gonna want to miss the show tomorrow. It's gonna be a hell of a time.
Yeah, go watch some Twilight Zone.
Yeah, go watch some Twilight Zone to get ready for next week. We will catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out.